Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Shah. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Today I'm going to discuss Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. One of the best films this summer. Definitely top 5 superhero movie, definitely top 5 animated film, and probably the best Spider-Man movie. The sequel, it compounds a lot of the story from the first film and builds on its strengths. There are characters in there that you wouldn't think would be involved in any way in the sequel. The Spot was always a like a joke villain. He wasn't taken seriously in the comics or by the people that created him. And with this film, what they did, especially with the great performance by Jason Schwartzman, it made this character a bit more threatening. A angry person, you know. He starts off, he's goofy or whatnot, but he's in a really bad situation. And I liked how him and Miles were connected. For those who haven't seen the first movie, and yes, there will be spoilers. It's in the that I'm reviewing it in the title, but I don't really do spoiler alerts anyway. When Miles and Peter B were escaping from Alchemex, and Miles threw the bagel at one of the scientists, that scientist was John Owen, who was caught in the particle accelerator when they defeated Kingpin and Miles blew it up, therefore hitting him with dark matter, creating spots on his body, which lead to other places, such as other dimensions or places in the world itself. And he wanted to let Miles know, and Miles kept telling him to this man's face, "You're just a villain of the week. You ain't nothing." Boy, was he wrong, because this man is something. He is something else and so much more. The movie starts off with Gwen Stacy in her universe, Earth 65, which is beautifully colored in like a watercolor aesthetic with these pinks and reds and these blues and purples. And they're showing us how her Peter Parker essentially turned into the Lizard to try and impress her and stop being bullied. During prom, she accidentally kills him, not knowing it's Peter. The police, including her dad, Captain Stacy, hunt her down. She is not really looked at as a hero in her universe, and I kind of liked how they brought that from the comics. I like how some of this stuff is pulled straight from the comics, which I loved about that. Now, some people will say that, well, the movie is woke because they have a BLM pin and a protect trans kids flag. Shush. Hush. Relax. You barely notice a pin, and like I said, it's just a flag, just hanging in a room, probably like an Easter egg or somebody out there watching the movie. Me personally, I feel like those conversations should be left out of films, especially kids films. I feel like those conversations should, especially with the protect trans kids flags or whatnot, I feel like those types of conversations should be reserved for parents to discuss with their kids and whatnot, because that just leads down a bunch of rabbit hole stuff that people are going to fight over. But as I digress, the movie was really fucking fantastic. Straight from the beginning, Coil Ray's Self-Love from the soundtrack plays during Gwen's scene, and it's honestly my favorite song on the soundtrack. Shout out to Metro Boomin. You definitely have me wanting more. Got that thing on repeat. She comes across Vulture, but this Vulture isn't from her universe. He's from a Renaissance era universe, and his animation is drawn in like a parchment type style, like a sketch kind of thing. Like if you ever seen a picture of like Leonardo da Vinci's drawings or designs for like the aeroplane, or I think it's called like the Jurassic Man or whatnot, it's kind of like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. And as that's happening, she ends along, she meets Miles and Jessica Drew, who are played by Oscar Isaac and Issa Rae. And it's fantastic. They come in, they do the little banter or whatnot. And when Gwen reveals her identity to her father, he's ready to arrest her. And I'm like, well, damn, my heart dropped. Broke my heart, honestly. They take her in. She's part of the Spider Society, whatnot. Wow, we cut to Miles. He's been Spider-Man for about a year. He misses his friends. He's still drawing and stuff like that. Him and Genki are cool. Not Genki. Is it Genki? I think it is Genki. Genki doesn't want to be his guy in the chair. He says that's a slippery slope, and I think he'll be reluctant, but eventually he might be the guy in the chair, or he might not be. And I think that'd be okay. Either way, I think that was actually pretty cool, just kind of subverting your expectations just a little bit. And as Miles is fighting the Spot throughout the bodega and stuff like that, gets a call from his parents, a text from his parents. He has to be at like some type of meeting with his guidance counselor, and the counselor's played by, I forgot her name. She played Debbie Downer on SNL. She's extremely funny, and they kind of animated her character to look kind of like her. Miles is missing class. She doesn't know him as a student personally, so she really can't say much about him as in what he likes and what he's into and what he's got planned for the future so far. He's been missing classes, and I get what they're trying to do. Miles is in a tough spot. He's a 15-year-old superhero, not only saving the world, but he's keeping his identity. And he hasn't told his parents, and his reasoning for his parents was not only different, but like I said, it made me emotional. Most heroes, when they are heroine and stuff like that, their reasoning is for them not to tell their loved ones and their family, because they want to protect their, not only protect their identity, but protect those around them who they love. Whereas Miles, his main concern is, if I tell my parents, they're going to love me less. And that, I cried inside, like when he said that. Like, you're not even thinking that, they can't be, in danger or anything like that. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, on one hand, I find it like really like crazy that, not in a bad way, that you don't think your parents will love you as much because you lied to them about being Spider-Man, where some heroes are literally like, hey, I just want you to be safe. And that's such a teenage thing. Like, and as a dad of a 13-year-old, I get that. And that just made me realize, like, what is he isn't telling me, or what is he afraid to tell me, more so. Like, if there something that he's afraid to ask, or he's got bottled. It's a movie not just for the kids, but for their parents. And there are scenes with Miles and his parents that get really serious, and it gets a bit realistic, and you're just like, damn, like that is real. Like, Rio, his mother, doesn't want him to go too far off when he goes to school. Like, he wants to go to Princeton because they have one of the best physics programs in the world. And it's in Jersey, and his mom was like, well, Jersey's too far. For those of you who know geography, or know anything about Jersey and New York City, they are not that far from each other at all. And she's explained to Miles, she understands that he's growing up to be this boy, and he wants to do these amazing things. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. And this is the parent in me. And my mom has had these conversations with me as a teenager, and I kind of wish I listened more. When he goes out into the world, not only is he going to be the best person he is, but you never let anyone out there tell you that you can't do something, or that you're not good enough. Or make sure that you never change when you're out there and you're on that journey. And boy, listen, I shed tears during this movie. And like I said, it could just be me. Could be because I'm emotional, or that I'm a Cancer, or I'm a straight bitch. But fuck it, there's some really good writing and emotional beats. And there's this conversation that Miles has with his dad while Miles is Spider-Man. So his dad doesn't know he's Spider-Man, but he's saying like Miles is a smart kid, but he does a lot of dumb stuff, and he just wants the best for him because from Jeff's point of view, no matter what he does, he can't make someone happy. He feels like a failure, and that hit. Like they said some real stuff in this movie, man. They said some real stuff in this movie. Speaking of real stuff in this movie, there's a cameo there, and I'm explain later on in the video, which blew me away. But as you're dealing with the spot or whatnot, said Miles is dealing with all this personal stuff. Jefferson is going to become captain in a few days. He's lieutenant right now, and Miles didn't show up for the celebration. He was late doing Spider-Man stuff. He got the cake, but by the time the cake got there, it said, "I'm not proud." It said, "I'm proud." Like he said, he really thought this out. And Miles, like said, they have an argument. He has an argument with their parents, and he's like, whatever. Like, and he wants to tell them, but he doesn't know how without making them feel like he just thinks that they're gonna be ashamed because he lied. And I get that. The first thing that most people do when a superhero unmasks themselves and let them know their identity is that, well, you lied to me, and I never fucking got that. You're a person with powers that for the most part are really dope and insane in power scale, and then you're fighting these villains that can level cities, countries, states, and possibly the planet or multiverse. And instead of saying, "Oh wow, you were trying to protect me," you're just like, "Well, you lied to me." That's fucking stupid. That's just me though. Gwen pops up to see Miles while she's on business. She's not telling Miles that she's there to find and locate the spot. Even though she wants to see him, she's keeping something from him. And I just kind of felt fucked up about it. Well, like, damn, Gwen, like I said, Gwen's got her own stuff going on, so she really can't go home or doesn't want to go home. Whereas Miles just misses his friends and he wants to be a part of something. And he eavesdrops on Gwen using his invisibility. Turns out he found out that she lied. And so he meets everyone in Spider Society. Miguel, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, Peter B pops back up with his daughter Mayday. I thought that was cool. She's a beautiful bundle of joy. And with Peter B, his own thing, this man is a father now. There is hope for Peter yet. This man rekindled his relationship with Mary Jane. He's got something steady going back home. Like I said, and Mayday is this redheaded ball of a spider joy. Now, everybody knows that what Miles' situation is, and they're not telling him. Miguel has essentially said that Miles is an anomaly. The spider that bit Miles came from another universe. That universe being 42. And when the Spot pulled that spider from that universe, there's a slight animation, almost miss it, where that spider was about to bite a young boy with French braids. That boy was Miles Morales from that universe, but more on that later. He's telling him, you're the reason why the Peter Parker died in your universe. You're not supposed to be Spider-Man. You didn't deserve to be. And like I said, he lured all these spider people out the lobby and stuff like that. Like he fought his way out there, man. Like it was like an Assassin's Creed, get to the hiding incognito, whatnot. Like it was crazy. And he lets them know, like, you can't tell me how my story goes. You can't make these decisions for me. I'm gonna do my own thing. And man, wow. That is actually, like I said, this movie has some of the best writing compared to most of these films and TV shows that's came out in these past couple years. When it came to his relationship with Gwen, he's not fucking with Gwen right now. Gwen not only lied, but she kept things from him, and things that she had no business keeping from him, especially when they pertain to his life. And when she goes to catch him with her web, he pulls it off of him and he lets go. And right there, like, my heart dropped, and wow, it was crazy. Now, when it comes to all these cameos, there's about 280 different Spider people. Some, like I said, you just see they don't really have any like roles or whatnot. Like, you have the web slinger Spider-Man, who's played by Taron Killam. You have Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker from the 90s, who's played by the talented Andy Samberg. Metro Boomin makes a voice cameo as his own Spider person. There's a Lego Spider-Man. A Lego sequence was actually animated by a 14-year-old boy, and I thought that was cool. And then it came to the live action Prowler, played by Donald fucking Glover. And I got excited, and there's like, you guys don't even understand. Without Donald Glover, there wouldn't be any Miles Morales. Pusha, what do you mean? Well, before Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, they was in talks of, doing Spider-Man a bit differently, probably making him black. Donald Glover did a little campaign, started off as a joke, and a lot of people were really going for it and whatnot. But Brian Michael Bendis saw an episode of Community, I think it was Anthropology 101, where Donald was wearing a Spider-Man costume. And he pretty much got the inspiration for Miles from Donald and drew him essentially damn near in his likeness. And he also voiced him in, I think it was the Ultimate TV show. It could have been Spectacular, but he did voice Miles Morales. And I'm saying all that to say is, without Donald Glover, there probably wouldn't be a Miles Morales. And I don't think a lot of people understand how huge that is, not only to comics, but to the cultures. That Donald Glover is definitely influential, hands down. And there's Spider played by Amanda Seinberg, and there's gonna be. I wish all these characters get more parts. Do I think that this is better than the first one? Yes. Do I think that this might top the third one? I don't know. With the third movie, and I'll get to some more stuff later. The third movie coming out, I feel like my theory is the third movie is going to be a directly going into a live action Miles Morales movie. If they're going beyond the Spider-Verse, I feel like there's going to be like a bigger threat and higher stakes, and that this will force Miles to go into another universe or to start a new live action. After Miles essentially has a spat with his little skibbity paps with Miguel, he sneaks back into the society, and he sneaks past Spider Bite, activates the Go Home machine. The Go Home machine sends anybody who's not supposed to be in this universe or whatnot, and send them back to their original one, and it's based off DNA, scans for DNA. With the spider that bit Miles being from Earth 42, and that spider's, blood being mixed with Miles' DNA, the machine read it as him going home to Earth 42. So when Miles gets there, some things are slightly different. There's the Sinister Six cartel. There's no Spider-Man. There's more crime. He goes to tell his mom, or who he thinks is his mom, everything. Spider-Man, like, he gets it off his chest. She doesn't know who Spider-Man is, because Spider-Man doesn't exist in that universe. But Prowler does. Uncle Aaron pops up. He's alive in this universe. He knows something's up. In comes Prowler, takes off the mask. Boom, it is him from that universe. He is Prowler. And I think that's because there's no Spider-Man to offer hope or inspiration, to be a beacon of light for good people, but also with Miles' dad's dead in that universe, Uncle Aaron's always had like that negative influence on him, that evil influence on him, which I thought was actually pretty dope. I don't really have anything bad to say. I just wish certain people had more camera time, and I kind of, especially Ben Reilly. I don't know, because to me, I think Ben Reilly is such. I don't know. I think they're gonna use these characters more as in the third movie, with them creating teams to find Miles and the other to fight the Spot. So Miguel, he recruited Jessica Drew and Ben Reilly to go find the Spot. Where Gwen is, she got Spider-Punk, Spider-Man India, Spider-Bite, Peter B, and the original Spider People from the first movie, Penny Parker, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, and I think I'm forgetting somebody. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody. And I kind of can't wait. This is going to be huge, and it differs a lot from the comics, whereas the antagonists were the Inheritors, were essentially a bunch of immortal vampire-like beings that, you know, feed on spider totems, people who are spider people, and they're all connected by the web of life and destiny, and that's why most of them have a spider sense that can be reverberated throughout the multiverse. I'm going to give this movie like a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed myself all around. The story, phenomenal. The art, great. The premise, dope. The casting, fan-fucking-tastic. The next movie drops in May of next year. I will be definitely reviewing that. I also will be doing a bunch of more videos, probably dropping in the next week or so, because I will be going on vacation for about a week at the end of the month. I'm going off the grid, gonna go camping with the family, so I'll be pushing out some videos. The next movie I'm going to review is the Flash movie. Before you say anything, Flash is still one of my favorite comic book characters to this day. But like I said, I will be doing the Flash movie, Transformers, and some other shows and movies before I go on vacation. So look out for those. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow me on Instagram at comedian_Shah, SHA. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, Shah Mercurial, and catch the Spotify podcast, You're Welcome, with Shaquem Green. The links will be in the description below. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.